Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, from whom I learned this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 elect. I am Ayak Allah. And the name of this one will be Not Deceived. And the reason I keep kind of harping on deception and being aware of false teachers, because of that, for that reason right there, that it seems like right now there's so many false teachers out, so many different camps who you can tell they're either just blatantly just going off, or for some reason, and a lot of times it's for filthy lucre, meaning for money's sake. For some reason, they sell out their doctrine for the sake of money. All right, and in an effort to have this filthy lucre, and what they're doing is leading the sheep astray. All right, so they're coming out with these various doctrines that are false doctrines. So that's why the reason why I'm kind of staying on this subject. But I only have a few verses that I wanted to bring out, and that'll be the end of the lesson. The first one I want to bring out is Matthew 24:4, and this is Yahweh Shai, because it's in red letter, and it says, "And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you." Like I said, I wanted to bring that out because there's so many false doctrines that's out here right now, and it seems like the closer we get to Yahweh Shai's return, the more these doctrines are being pushed out there, and not even so much as that, but there is so many efforts to deceive the people and doing various things. You have to be circumspect and be watching every aspect of your life and what you're doing, and paying attention to what's going on around you, because wickedness is just kind of at an all-time high right now. It's only going to increase. All right, but I mean, these things are written and these things are supposed to happen, but at the same time, you're supposed to take heed that no man deceive you, and you be circumspect. All right, the other various things that you have to be conscious of is, like I said, there's a lot of schemes, a lot of people just doing things in an effort to make a quick dollar. You know, I mean, with these computers that we use, with these phones that we use, you just have to be very careful. I just recently received something in the mail saying that somebody may have hold of my personal information, and when you get those kind of things in the mail, you don't even know if those things are really valid. You know, so if you got phone numbers that's on there telling you to contact such and such, you can't even trust it. You can't even do it. All right, it's just deceivers. That's all about. All right, because it's just wickedness, and wickedness is rampant. All right. The second verse that I wanted to bring out is 1 Corinthians chapter 6. And I brought this out before, but I want to bring this out again. It says, "But brothers goeth..." So like it's 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 9, not 6. It says, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High." And I've gone over a couple of these words before, but the one I wanted to look at right now is the revelers. and it is G3060. And I'll give you a pronunciation of the word.
Strong's G 3060. Loidaras. Loidaras.
And it says a railer, a reviler. Let's see what a railer is, according to Google. And let's see. Alright, this is not giving me a good definition here. So here it says railer can refer to a person who is a bitter complainer or critic. Alright, and they got a couple definitions here. It says as a person who complains or criticizes bitterly. This is the most common definition of a railer and comes from the verb to rail, which means to use harsh, abusive, and reproachful language. And in the biblical context, it says in a biblical sense, a railer is someone who doesn't control their tongue and lashes out at others who give them correction. And that's the term I really wanted to find there, because that's what it is, a person who doesn't accept correction, a person who wants to not take accountability for the things that comes out of his mouth or his actions. All right, I'm gonna go back here. So you have to be just be watchful and watch who you're dealing with, you know, and be conscious of your surroundings, being circumspect. I'm gonna go to Exodus 23. Exodus 23:13 says, and in all things I have said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, nor let it be heard out of thy mouth. And that's another thing. A lot of these teachers, you'll notice that you've seen them in the past with other camps, or even knowing that they've learned from the men of Great Millstone who had 100% truth. And they've moved on and formed their own camps. And instead of using the name Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, they want to go and use, go back to those JC and Yahweh and Yah and these other names that have nothing to do with the Most High. All right, I'm going to read it in the NLT. It says, pay close attention to all my instructions. You must not call on the name of any other gods. Do not even speak their names. So you should not even really let them come out of your mouth. And I know sometimes we do it just for edification purposes, but in any other sense, you shouldn't even let these other gods' names be coming out of your mouth. All right, and a lot of these other camps will be quick to knowing that they know the name, and then you see that they're using JC, or they're using like those other names that I mentioned, Yahweh or Yah. All right, like you can just call the Most High by any name. You can't call the Most High by any name. He has one name, is one truth. All right. I mean, it's just like if you were making a phone call and you call somebody and you know who you're calling, but instead of asking, can you speak to such and such, you ask to speak for another name, and when you don't be surprised that when they say no, you got the wrong number. Of course you got the wrong number because you asked for the wrong name. All right, so you're going to get the wrong result. You're not going to get any result because you're calling on the wrong name. All right, and I just have a couple more that I wanted to bring out here. And I want to go, and I'm Salaki, I'm kind of jumping around. I'm going to go back into the to Galatians chapter 6. Verse 7 says, "Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." All right. And the NLT says, "Don't be misled. You cannot mock the justice of the Most High. You will always harvest what you plant." So in times of trouble, and you want to call on a name, and you calling on some other name other than Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, don't be surprised at the results that you get. A lot of times people think that they're getting their prayers answered by the Most High, but if you're praying to the wrong name, guess who's answering you? You getting answered. You having your worldly prayers answered by Satan, and he might even give you those things that you're asking for, especially if you're asking for something that's worldly, because that's what his realm is. That's what he does. He gives you those worldly things that you ask for. All right, but you're not building up any treasures in heaven because you're not calling on the right name. All right. And I just have one more that I want to bring out, and that'll be the end of this lesson. Like I said, it's not going to be very long. I'm going to go to Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 6. It says, "Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of the Most High upon the children of disobedience." And let's look at this word vain. It is G2756, and I'll give you a pronunciation of it.
Strong's G2756. Kenas. Kenas.
All right, and I want to look at this under the biblical usage. The first definition here says empty, vain, devoid of truth, of places, vessels, etc., which contain nothing. All right. And B says of men, empty-handed, without a gift. All right. So that's what these vain things are. These are empty words. They're void of truth. All right. They can have no meaning. They hold no weight. All right. Let's see what the Strong's definition says. It says apparently a primary word says empty. Empty. It says literally or figuratively. Vain. All right. So it's pretty plain right there what that means. It's not holding any weight. It's just empty. All right. And in the NLT it says, "Don't be fooled by those who try to excuse these sins, for the anger of the Most High will fall on all who disobey him." All right. And that's pretty plain. So I'm going to leave this right there. And I pray that this has been edifying to the listener. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.